We are coming down the home stretch. Another West Coast guest right now. So and she's like, "Hey, it's only like 12:30 out here, but listen, it's 3:30 on the East Coast. We've been going all day strong, so I'm excited to have Brooke-Sidney Harbour with us. She is the host of the Soulful show. A phenomenal young lady who deals all about, we're going to talk about resetting our vision, just our soul, just the things that really, kind of recentering ourselves and resetting ourselves there. So, Brooke Sidney, welcome to the Reset 2020 Summit. How are you?
I am doing amazing. I'm so happy to be here with you all today.
Awesome. Well, listen, I want to value your time for holding on as we run a little bit behind. So I want to let you jump right into it and talk to us. I know you're here to talk about how just the our inner selves and how we can really reset that to make sure, because I know as distractions are coming, we've been dealing with a lot this year. A lot of different things have come against us, and we want
Whew.
to really know how can we really keep that centering and that mindfulness about where we're going, and that vision for what we are meant to be. So I'm gonna hand it over to you, and thank you for joining us again.
Thanks so much, Ryan. So, I really just want us to begin by actually doing what's called a practice. And so, we're going to begin by taking a couple of cleansing breaths together. So, if you're not driving, right, if you're in a comfortable position, please don't do this while you're driving. But I would love for you, before we just jump into the vision, sometimes we need to anchor our energy and our awareness within. That can be on God, if that resonates with you. But we definitely want to take a moment to turn within. So, wherever you are, find yourself a comfortable seat, allow yourself to relax. Often it feels good to, raise up your shoulders to your ears and then allow your shoulder blades and your shoulders just to relax down. If it feels good, I invite you to close your eyes. And we're just going to take a couple of centering breaths together to bring us into this energy flow and discussion around vision. So I invite you to inhale in through your nose. One, two, three. Hold. And then exhale through your mouth. One, two, three. One more time. Inhale in through your nose. One, two, three. Hold. And then exhale through your mouth. One, two, three. And for this last breath, I want you to inhale in through your nose. You're inhaling in all of the abundance, joy, peace, serenity that you want to see in 2020. And now we're exhaling out all that we'd love to release and not see anymore in 2020. So, one more of this breath. We're inhaling in all the abundance, joy, peace, gratitude for what we want to see in 2020. And now we're exhaling out anything that we want to release from what we've seen so far in 2020. I love that. So, with that kind of energy and with that breath, I'd love to just begin by talking a little bit about vision, because what I'm finding out from my clients, from my own life, is that it's not necessarily that we don't have vision or that we didn't have a vision for 2020, but that all of the things that have happened, wow, in 2020 and continue to happen are covering up, are blinding, are blurring our vision for ourselves and our lives for 2020, right? And so today, my goal, I only am setting one intention. That's a mindfulness thing. I'm setting one intention is that we're able to bring ourselves back to the vision that we either have already had or we're going to renew our vision. And I truly believe that the vision that we're seeking is already inside of you, right? The vision is within. It's just that life, economic depression, perhaps even a loss of job, and our world shifting out of what we were calling normal, right? That's gone away. And so, what that has done for many of us, it's done it for a lot of my clients, is it has blurred or just shut down our vision. And so I invite you, as you are listening today, to take with you that exercise that we did in the beginning. Some people call those type of exercises meditation, but they're also just simple things about connecting with our breath and connecting what we know to be true about ourselves. So, um, again, the idea here is that our vision is already within. And so, as we begin to kind of get ourselves back in the space of re examining mid year, I mean, I cannot believe it's already July, mid year 2020, I'm asking you to think about and inviting you to consider that the vision that you maybe had at the beginning of the year is still there. And if perhaps everything has gone so far astray, you might need to create a new one. So, one of the first concepts that I'd love for you to try on, I'm bringing soulful mindfulness, mindfulness in which I've used to help me in my life. I'm bringing that forward here to see how you can apply some of these concepts to your life. And one of the biggest things that we can do in any moment of our lives, whether 2020 was crazy or 2020 was amazing so far, is a practice called awareness and noticing, right? Awareness and noticing. So we are noticing anything that comes up in our lives, right? So whether this pandemic, this time period from January to June has been amazing for you, notice that. Whether there have been places that have been disappointing, notice that. If there are places that you know in your life you want to change or you feel like the vision has gone astray, notice that. The beauty about mindfulness is that it allows you to bring this awareness and this noticing to elements of our life, to our thoughts, to our feelings in a non judgmental space. And that's why I feel like this is a beautiful tool, technology, philosophy to think about our lives as we're setting our vision for this part of 2020 or going back to the vision that's already within ourselves for 2020. So, whatever's coming up for you at this moment, the first thing that I want you to do is to be mindfully aware of it or notice it. And I wanted to share quickly a story about a particular client of mine who recently did just that. So last week, I know you guys are all very well aware of a lot of the racial injustice, Black Lives Matter incidents, where we're being bombarded with news and images and stories and visions of what most Black people and people of color have known to be going on. But now, in addition to that knowingness, that awareness, right, we get to see it all day long, and we get to see it brought up in front of our faces all day long. And many of us are attempting to help people process some of the things that they're seeing. I'm one of those people. And so one of my clients was actually in an incident last week where as a Black male, he was confronted by someone who was accusing him of attacking her. And I mean, the video went viral, and he luckily recorded it, and there were people standing by, right? And so as a result, he was obviously triggered, right? I think that's another conversation that I think a lot of us need to have right now, about how we're experiencing these things. But he understandably was triggered and bothered by this situation. And what he decided to do is the reason why I'm bringing up this story, is that rather than allow these incidences and experiences to happen in our lives where they go unnoticed, he decided to actually bring his present awareness to that moment. And when he did that, when he saw he was actually experiencing in the moment, he was able to do the one thing a lot of us don't do: ask for help. Ask for help. Not only did he call his therapist, he also called me, his mindfulness and spiritual coach, right, to hold space for him and help him process these moments. And I give you that example for a couple of reasons. The first one is mindful awareness and noticing, right? Everything that's coming up for us right now in these moments. But two is that when we become aware and we become present to our lives, we allow these experiences that are happening theoretically outside of us, but that we are um, thinking about, having feelings about, and then reacting to. We allow them to come up and see them, and then from that space, we can figure out the best way to move forward, right? And a lot of us right now we've had years, we've had generations of trauma, of injustice, of microaggressions, macroaggressions, and we've largely allowed them to remain hidden as we continue to move through our lives. It is an amazing coping mechanism, and it works really, really well until it doesn't. And until we are left feeling all of the things, and our vision of who we are becomes covered up and becomes blurred. And that's why I have found that mindful awareness and noticing allows us to register what's going on in our lives so that we can ask for help. We can see what we need to do. We can not attach, because not everything is for us. And I really feel like get support and be supported, right? So that's one really big concept that I would love, as we are considering what our vision is for the remaining of 2020, to bring that practice of dropping into the moment and being really aware in a non-judgmental space of what's happening in and through us. The next thing I'd like us to consider and invite into our lives as we are reconnecting to the vision that's already within us is allowing ourselves grace, right? Allowing ourselves grace. Now, I know so many people are like, grace and vision. Yes, grace and vision. Because when we give ourselves grace in this moment, and when we're thinking about from January to June, which, whoo, y'all, when we think about January to June, so much has come up. I've had clients say to me, "Oh my God, I was not prepared. I wasn't prepared. I didn't have that 6-month savings. I didn't have a backup plan. My taxes weren't ready to apply for the help that was available, or I just mentally wasn't prepared. I didn't feel like I was in the right space, or I thought my faith was going to get me through, but I'm still having troubles, right? I'm still having troubles." And so as we are sitting here on July 1 and we're trying to reconnect to the vision within, I'm asking you to give yourself some grace, right? Give yourself some grace. And for people that are not familiar with that term, that could be loving kindness, that can be compassion, because whatever you didn't know or you didn't do, that's where you are, and you know now, right? And there's no point in rehashing or regurgitating or allowing yourself to sit in it, because you did the best that you could do. And that's where God's grace, your own loving kindness, and your own compassion right now in this moment is going to enable you to see who you are, and then be able to connect with that vision, either a new vision, either way, it's a vision that you have within. And then I think that another important characteristic that we need to think about, or a concept that I want you to invite in, is that life could change for the better at any moment. And this is the element of hope. And so before we connect with any type of vision, new or old, right, we have to have a mindset or a belief that it is possible and that we can do it. One of the biggest things that, a lot of people do at the beginning of the year, I know that I did, right? Even scripture tells us we write the vision and we make it plain so that we can run it, so we can run, right? We can see it as we run. And what has happened is a lot of us were running, a lot of us were doing all the things that we thought we were supposed to do. And here we are, right? Here we are. And a vision is only going to be as good as the belief that we put behind it, right? I'm going to say that again. The vision that we hope to see is only as good as the belief that we put behind it.
Wow.
And oftentimes we're building our belief on hope until it turns into faith or it turns into a strong belief. So I'm asking you today to try on my idea, you can take some of my hope and believe that life could change for the better at any moment and that you haven't necessarily done anything wrong up to now, right? We haven't always done anything wrong. Life sometimes happens to give us new lessons. But when we remain hopeful in the moment, then we can continue forward, taking step by step towards whatever vision that you again have within. And I think this is my second to last concept that I want you to try on, is that, right, if our vision has become blurred, what do we need to do to get it clear? We need to release whatever is blocking it. We need to release whatever thoughts, feelings, emotions that are not serving us. That doesn't mean that we ignore them. It doesn't mean that we push them down. Gosh, I definitely don't want people pushing them down. Again, whatever's coming up, we're allowing it to come up. We're allowing ourselves to see it. We're allowing ourselves to feel it because we know there's a gem of wisdom in it for us, especially as we go into the second half of this year. But what we find that is no longer useful, we release that, right? One of the biggest things that came up for me during the last month or so, and in talking with clients, was starting to shift our language, starting to release language and thoughts that no longer work for us. I'll give you an example, one that is, potentially triggering. So the idea that we would go out as a collective and say, I can't breathe. I'm inviting us to release that and to step into our power of who we are as powerful, divine, creative individuals that are put here for a purpose right now on this planet, to release that thought and bring on the emotion of I can breathe. I can create the vision that is coming through me. I can create the vision that God has given me. I can create the vision that I see inside of me. I can take back whatever has been stripped away. I can fully walk every day in my divinely given vision and power, right? So some of this, as we step into the remainder of 2020, it's about noticing what comes up, giving ourselves grace, stepping into hope, and releasing what doesn't work, right? Releasing outdated modes of thinking, being, and things that are truly disempowering. And so as I wind it down, I love to close out any of my conversations, any of my client calls with us being anchored into gratitude, right? Into gratitude. And so, if you're still not driving and you still have a moment to sit back, I'd love to invite you into some final breaths of gratitude. So wherever you are, find again that comfortable seat. Allow yourself just to be present right now where you are. You don't have to do or be anything or anywhere but exactly this moment, to reside here. And so I invite you to close your eyes just so we can truly anchor into this moment. And so let's take one just deep, relaxing breath in. So inhale in through your nose, hold, and exhale out. So now I would love, love for you to bring to mind 3 things that you are grateful for. They can be 3 things that I'm going to call it the wisdom of January 2020 through June 30th, 2020 has brought you. 3 gems that you truly can be grateful for. It could be your resilience, it could be your beauty, it could be the awareness of how the world really is, it could be your family, and it most certainly can be God and you. There's always something that we can find a breath of gratitude for. And I'm inviting you to bring 3 of those things to your mind right now. And with those 3 things in mind, we're going to just take 3 breaths of gratitude. So we're going to inhale in, anchoring in into this feeling of appreciation, holding, and now exhaling it out, allowing that energy of gratitude to be in and around you. Inhaling in, again, breathing in appreciation for all of the beautiful lessons that 2020 so far has given us. And then exhaling out. And then inhaling in, thanking God, thanking yourself, and being hopeful and all knowing that you're creating this beautiful vision anew. And exhaling out. When you're ready, I invite you back into the space. So thank you, Ryan. Thank you all for going on that aligning with our vision within journey. Whew, I feel better.
I had to hit yeah, man. That was amazing. I think that was a beautiful thing and a perfect place in today's reset, and exactly what I was hoping you would do. I didn't know how you would do it, but exactly what I was looking for. Something to just to kind of just get us set and calm and just centered again. So thank you so much for that, Brooke-Sidney. I want to give you a chance. Sorry, to go ahead and tell people how they can listen to your show, how they can follow you, and get more information and work with you if so be it.
Sure. Well, I'm glad that you all feel more calm and centered. You can find the Mind Soulful Show on every podcast platform. So Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud. I'd love, they release every Wednesday. So a new episode dropped today. You can find me at brooke-sidney.com. And then in terms of all of social media, I am at like Facebook, the Brooke-Sidney, Twitter, the Brooke-Sidney, and Instagram, the Brooke-Sidney. I do have some free giveaways if you're
Yay.
interested. If
We
you're
love
interested, yeah,
giveaways.
I love to give things. So
Absolutely.
I guess it was last Friday. It feels like time is going by quickly. Or 2 Fridays ago, we had a Juneteenth or a Freedom Day meditation, and I felt that a lot of the people that received that actually felt freer and more clear, as well as anchoring into all the things that we do, in fact, have to be can be grateful for right now. And so I'm offering that Freedom Day meditation replay to all of you all. I think it's very helpful as we are jumping into the rest of 2020 to anchor into our freedom, anchor into all of our blessings, as well as remember the past, right? That's exactly what that is. Um, and you can find that on my site at brooksidney.com/freedom hyphen day. All of these are on my site. And then I also have 15 ways to practice mind soulfulness. So for people that are new to the concept of mindfulness, and I have a way of, I feel like, incorporating soul with it. There's a free like PDF that can actually help you see what practices make sense for you. And then in terms of other ways to work with me, I definitely have a new visioning workbook that's out, Renew Your Vision workbook, as well as an accompanying meditation, and as always, vision and shift session. So I invite anyone that needs a little support and help to either, check me out for one of those or even meditation guidance. I've been helping folks get through these really triggering times.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. I look forward to talking to you and working with you again real soon.